The groom you see here, dancing with pure joy, ecstatic to have just married the woman of his dreams, is 37-year-old Tyreek Burton, a proud Carolina man who had no idea that the night meant to celebrate his love would turn into the night of his tragic death. On October 12, 2024, as Tyreek celebrated his new life with his bride, the Greensboro police received a frantic 911 call about a shooting at the Barber Park Event Center. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Tyreek's lifeless body riddled with 15 bullet wounds. Just hours earlier, he had been exchanging vows with the love of his life, blissfully unaware that his life would be cut short in a violent confrontation. What began as a joyous celebration turned into a nightmare that would leave his family and community in shock. Why was this happening? How did a beautiful night of love and laughter end in a tragic loss? The answers are still out there, and Tyreek's family is left searching for the truth. Before we unfold the tragic events, let's step back and see how everything came to this point.
We were having the time of our lives, and it's like in a blink of an eye, it just was all just stolen away from us.
Tyreek Burton, affectionately known as Ty, was a vibrant 37-year-old man full of life, love, and promise. Originally from Roxboro, North Carolina, Tyreek had relocated to Greensboro, North Carolina in pursuit of a better life. Tyreek was in a relationship with Kiara Holloway, a woman who would soon become his wife. The couple had been together for 16 years, and after many years of building a solid foundation, they finally tied the knot on October 12, 2024, in a ceremony that was a true reflection of their love. Tyreek wasn't just a loving husband to Kiara, he was also a devoted father to 4 daughters, including his stepdaughters from Kiara. His selfless nature shone through in the way he prioritized his family above all else. Tyreek's selfless and caring nature made him stand out to everyone who knew him. Known for his kindness, genuine spirit, and infectious smile, he had a way of making others feel valued and loved. Tyreek was always the first to lend a helping hand, whether it was to a friend, family member, or even a stranger in need. His willingness to give, both of his time and resources, left a lasting impression on everyone who crossed his path. He wasn't just kind-hearted, though. Tyreek was also a dedicated hard worker. Despite the challenges life threw at him, he remained committed to providing for his family. Tyreek worked long hours, often putting in 12-hour shifts without complaint. His dedication to his family and his work was evident in every aspect of his life. His drive to build a better future for his wife and children motivated him every day, as he believed in creating a secure foundation for them to thrive. Tyreek's work ethic and his strong sense of responsibility set an example for others, showing them the importance of perseverance, family, and generosity. Those who knew Tyreek, like his sister Brittany Burton, described him as a gentleman with an infectious smile and a heart of gold. His kindness and genuine spirit made him beloved by everyone he encountered. As the wedding day unfolded, Tyreek and Kiara's love was celebrated by family and friends at the Barber Park Event Center in Greensboro. It was a day full of joy, laughter, and memories made. Tyreek, dressed in a white tuxedo jacket, and Kiara, glowing in a backless lace mermaid dress, shared their first dance as husband and wife. The love they shared was evident in every step they took, their connection evident as they twirled under the soft glow of the event's lighting. Surrounded by their closest loved ones, the newlyweds looked forward to their future with excitement. Their wedding was not just the culmination of a long relationship, but the beginning of the next chapter in their journey together. They had big dreams, hopes for the future, and a shared vision of growing their family and creating new memories. But as the night came to a close, the joy of the evening would soon give way to an unforeseen tragedy, altering their lives in a way no one could have predicted. After briefly stepping away from the reception, Tyreek had returned to the parking lot at Barber Park. What should have been a peaceful end to a joyous evening quickly turned into a nightmare when an unknown stranger, angered by a minor road rage incident, followed him into the lot. Nothing prepared Tyreek for the unfortunate event that was about to unfold. The man, fueled by rage over a trivial traffic dispute, confronted Tyreek in the parking lot. What began as a verbal disagreement soon escalated into a violent confrontation. Witnesses described how the argument intensified quickly, and the stranger, consumed by fury, pulled out a weapon. In an act of senseless aggression, he opened fire, emptying an entire clip into Tyreek. He was shot around 15 times. Tragically, the violence erupted in the very place where Tyreek had just celebrated the happiest moment of his life, his own wedding. The tragic scene unfolded in front of his wife, Kiara, and one of his daughters, as they witnessed the brutal attack on the man they loved. Paramedics arrived at the scene quickly and attempted to perform life-saving measures. However, the severity of Tyreek's injuries was too much. He would be pronounced dead at the scene around 1:12 a.m. His life, full of promise and dedication to his family, was tragically cut short.
Begin tonight with a family grieving when they should be celebrating. Good evening, I'm Chad Silber.
And I'm Sydney Moore. People remember their wedding days for all sorts of reasons. The love, the fun, the joy. A woman will now remember it as the day she lost her husband just hours after tying the knot.
Tyreek Burton died on his wedding night in Greensboro. His family shared the whirlwind of emotions with WFMY News 2's Denise McMillan.
The newlyweds, who dated for 16 years, weren't even able to leave their wedding venue before the unimaginable happened. The groom was down 7 hours after saying "I do."
Saying their vows during the happiest moments of their lives, Tyreek and Kiara Burton captured photos of their holy matrimony years in the making.
It was filled with joy, happiness, a lot of laughs.
They didn't know these photos would be the last they'd ever take.
It ended in tragedy. A random person came to this park, a public area, and shot my brother cold blood.
Just hours after tying the knot, Greensboro police say someone Tyreek outside the reception at Barber Park in Greensboro.
It's supposed to be one of the happiest moments of his life, and it turned into something tragic worldwide. He did this in front of a minor. He did this in front of his wife with her gown on.
Brittany Burton is Tyreek's sister. She says as they were wrapping up at the reception, Tyreek left Barber Park briefly, and as he was heading back, a stranger followed him, saying Tyreek cut him off at the stop sign, so he shot him.
He didn't fire two. He didn't even fire 8. It was in the teens. He literally had a hole in his chest over road rage.
The family traumatized and devastated by the turn of events.
And for the person that did this, can't even call you a person. You a monster, man. God gonna deal with you. God is gonna deal with you wherever you at.
Tyreek's mother is also demanding justice.
We want nothing but good, and I demand justice. I demand it. And I don't want to wait years for it.
Now the guests who celebrated at the Burtons just days ago will be attending Tyreek's funeral.
Greensboro police told me the shooting might be related to road rage, but wouldn't say anything else about a motive or a suspect.
The Greensboro police responded promptly to the scene, where they discovered Tyreek lying unresponsive in the parking lot. As investigators pieced together the evidence, they confirmed that the shooting was the result of a road rage incident, one that spiraled out of control in a fit of irrational anger. Eyewitnesses, including family members who were present, were deeply shaken by the sheer brutality of the violence that unfolded right before their eyes. The investigation into Tyreek Burton's tragic death quickly ramped up, with the Greensboro Police Department focusing on finding the shooter. They classified the incident as a potential road rage event, which left many in the community puzzled. How could something as minor as a traffic dispute lead to such a brutal, deadly outcome? Witnesses confirmed the shooter had followed Tyreek into the parking lot of Barber Park, where the confrontation escalated. The assailant's rage, fueled by a simple misunderstanding on the road, resulted in a senseless killing that shocked the community. Eyewitnesses, including one of Tyreek's daughters, provided crucial testimony to law enforcement, making it clear that the shooting had occurred in a public space in front of multiple people. The fact that such an act of violence unfolded in front of his wife, Kiara, who was still in her wedding dress, only deepened the emotional impact on Tyreek's family. Despite the swift response from police, the investigation faced challenges. No immediate leads on the identity of the shooter emerged, and the suspect remained at large.
We're learning some new details about this man you see on the shot here. That's Tyreek Burton. He was shot in just hours after his wedding in Greensboro. He leaves behind multiple children and his new wife. WRL's Monica Casey spoke with some family members about how their day of love and laughter turned to heartbreak.
A long-awaited wedding day full of joy ended in sorrow for family and friends of 37-year-old Tyreek Burton.
Everybody was excited and happy for them, ready for the I-do's.
Nisheria Holloway tells me Tyreek and her sister Kiara had been together for 16 years.
We grew up in the same neighborhood when they started going together. When my nieces, my two oldest nieces, was very young.
Burton proposed on Christmas Day 2 years ago. He and Holloway have 2 daughters together. Burton had also taken in Holloway's other 2 daughters as his own.
He was a great man. He loved to spend time with his family, his kids.
After the wedding, Burton left in his car and returned to pick up his wife.
When he came back, a truck pulled real fast in the parking lot. That's when it happened.
And was that right in front of you?
Yes, it was.
Broadcastify radio traffic says Burton may have been shot multiple times.
They're advising the patient was possibly 15 times.
Days later, the family's shock has turned to devastation.
I didn't want them to see me cry, so when I got home, I just broke down. I keep seeing it. It's just replaying in my head.
Holloway says the family was told by police that Burton stemmed from road rage.
Why on the wedding day? Why him? Just why?
Our Monica Casey reporting there. Again, Greensboro police telling WRL they're still investigating the circumstances around the, but again, confirm it may, after all of that, resulted from a road rage incident.
In the aftermath of the shooting, the community of Greensboro came together, rallying around Tyreek's grieving family while hoping for justice. While the investigation remained ongoing, no arrests had been made in the initial days following Tyreek's death. Police were still working to identify the individual responsible for the shooting, but no clear suspects had emerged. As the days passed, Tyreek's loved ones, devastated by the unexpected loss, held on to hope that justice would be served. They were determined to see the person responsible for Tyreek's death brought to justice, and Tyreek's mother, Carolyn Burton, made an emotional plea for answers. The family held on to the belief that with the help of the community and continued police efforts, the shooter would eventually be caught. In the absence of immediate arrests, Tyreek's loved ones found solace in the memory of his kindness and his unwavering love for his family. His sister, Brittany Burton, shared that Tyreek's infectious personality and devotion to his family were what defined him, but even the strongest memories could not ease the pain of his violent and sudden death.
The family of Tyreek Burton says the best day of their lives quickly turned into the worst. I spoke to his sister who lives in Raleigh, and she says she's just struggling to figure out how something like this could happen.
And we were having the time of our lives, and it's like in a blink of an eye. It just was all just stolen away from us.
Saturday was the wedding Tyreek Burton and his new bride Kiara had envisioned, dancing the night away with loved ones around them, moments after saying, "I do."
He's one of the coolest people I know. He's one of the coolest people I know, man. He could walk into a room and that smile.
His younger sister Brittany sitting down with me in downtown Raleigh, telling me Tyreek was raised in Roxboro, North Carolina, along with his other 3 siblings. He and his new wife had been together for 16 years, had 4 daughters between them, and were making plans to expand their family even more. But just hours after the couple got married, tragedy struck as Tyreek was leaving the wedding venue. He was under the impression that his new bride was already home, and when she called to tell him she wasn't, he went back to get her.
He made a U-turn at the stop sign, so he never even made it out of the park all the way. It said stop sign at the very end of the park. He made a U-turn and came back, and I guess he didn't see somebody, and he cut them off, and that person followed him down to the park.
What is the address here? We just had a at Barber Park Event Center.
Greensboro police responded to the Barber Park Event Center just before 9 Saturday night after a reported the victim, 37-year-old Tyreek Burton, the man who had just gotten married there hours before.
There are cameras. This was at a public park, and there were eyewitnesses, multiple, including one of his daughters, and it was done in front of his wife.
A tragedy this family is struggling to understand. Brittany telling me his 3-year-old daughter has been too occupied with family to ask where her dad is, and it's going to hurt even more when she does.
That's gonna tear Kiara apart. Words can't describe the type of man that they took. This wasn't no average guy.
And the couple were set to celebrate their honeymoon last Saturday, starting in Charlotte. Right now, no funeral arrangements for Tyreek have been made. Back to you.
The loss of Tyreek Burton left a deep and lasting impact on his family, friends, and the Greensboro community. His sister, Brittany, spoke candidly about the devastation they felt, especially in light of the circumstances surrounding his death. She said, still in shock over how quickly the joyous occasion turned into an unthinkable tragedy. The emotional toll on Tyreek's wife, Kiara, was unimaginable. She had just celebrated the happiest day of her life, marrying the love of her life, only for that joy to be stolen from her in the most violent and cruel way. Kiara's grief was compounded by the fact that she had witnessed the shooting unfold before her eyes.
The beginning of my day, I was the happiest girl in the world. The ending of my night, definitely the saddest girl in the world.
For the first time, we're hearing from the bride who lost her husband after a deadly shooting outside their wedding in Greensboro last October. Greensboro police say somebody shot 37-year-old Tyreek Burton multiple times on Barber Park Drive. Tonight, more than 6 months later, there haven't been any arrests, and Tyreek's widow wants to make sure nobody forgets her husband. This is the Fox 8 News at 11. I'm Michael Hennessy. Fox 8's Justin Lundy joins us here in the studio after speaking with Kiara Burton. Justin, 6 months later, why is she now deciding to share her story?
Justice. That's all she wants for Tyreek. And Kiara says her children are the source of her strength to encourage witnesses to speak up.
The rain don't make it no better. This is really bring back terrible memories.
Memories from what was supposed to be the happiest day of Kiara Burton's life, the day she married her longtime partner, Tyreek Burton.
Our families always knew each other, but I didn't actually meet him until I was like 17. He was so giving. He was a provider, protector, great husband, great friend.
On Saturday, October 12, 2024, the couple exchanged vows here at the Barber Park Event Center in Greensboro.
I would have to say my happiest moments was seeing our kids smiling and seeing us happy because the wedding was for them. Our plan was to elope and come back and just let everybody know, but the kids wanted a wedding.
After sharing a joyous and fun-filled wedding with her husband, Kiara says several hours after saying "I do," things took an unimaginable turn. Greensboro police say around 8:49 p.m. that night, officers responded to a report at Barber Park Drive. When they arrived, they found Tyreek in the parking lot suffering from multiple gun wounds. Despite life-saving efforts, Tyreek died. Kiara says,
what led up to the was a road rage incident. Pretty much a stranger, someone we didn't know, felt like he cut him off in the road and confronted him about it, and it just ended up terribly wrong.
6 months later, Greensboro police have not made any arrests in the case, and Kiara and her family have returned to the scene several times to canvass the neighborhood.
There's no way this person did something like this and went home and slept on it and didn't tell nobody. If you know something, say something.
While Kiara continues to pray for justice for her late husband, she says the source of her strength is their children.
That's the only strength I got. Like, with everything in me, no matter what I do, the kids is my strength.
I reached out to Greensboro police for an update on the investigation into Tyreek. A spokesperson says because this is an act of homicide, detectives will not discuss it publicly to protect the integrity of their ongoing investigation. If you know anything, you're encouraged to contact Crime Stoppers at 336-373-1000. Repeat, 336-373-1000, and you can remain anonymous.
The family feared for the long-term emotional impact on Tyreek and Kiara's young children, especially their 3-year-old daughter, who would grow up without her father. The community, too, mourned the loss of Tyreek, a man known for his generosity and kind heart. Tyreek's family, along with his cousins, including Kaisha Saffold, set up a GoFundMe to help support Kiara and their daughters through the aftermath of this tragedy. The fundraiser received overwhelming support from the community, and many expressed their desire to help the family as they navigated through the immense grief of losing a beloved husband, father, and son. At the same time, local authorities and advocacy groups began to raise awareness about the broader issue of gun violence, especially within the context of road rage. The incident had struck a chord in the community, as many residents realized that a simple traffic dispute had escalated into an event that forever altered the course of a family's life. The shooting prompted a series of town hall meetings where residents discussed strategies for reducing violence and improving community safety. Police in Greensboro also began working with local schools, churches, and youth organizations to offer resources for conflict resolution and mental health support. Community leaders hoped these efforts would help reduce the likelihood of similar tragedies in the future. At the same time, the family's efforts to raise awareness about Tyreek's death and gun violence led to a larger conversation about the devastating impact of road rage. Tyreek's story became a cautionary tale for others, how a brief moment of anger and frustration could lead to irreversible consequences. His death underscored the need for individuals to pause, de-escalate, and consider the far-reaching effects of their actions before making decisions driven by rage. Greensboro's police chief, in an emotional statement to the public, urged anyone with information about the shooter to come forward. The department assured the family that they were committed to solving the case. As the community remained in limbo, Tyreek's family continued to advocate for justice. They held vigils, organized rallies, and used social media to spread the message: Tyreek's life mattered, and the person responsible for his death needed to be held accountable. As the investigation continued, Tyreek's family and friends held on to their memories of him. The funeral for Tyreek Burton took place just days after the senseless act of violence. The funeral service, held at a community's church, brought together friends, family, and community members who had been touched by Tyreek's life and legacy. The somber occasion was a painful reminder of the fragility of life and the consequences of unchecked anger and violence. During the service, those who loved Tyreek shared their memories, recounting how he always put family first and how much he had meant to everyone around him. His infectious smile, kindness, and deep love for his daughters, wife, and extended family left a lasting impression on those who knew him. The service was filled with heartfelt tributes, both from those who were closest to Tyreek and from others who admired him from afar. After the service, Tyreek was laid to rest at Greenview Memorial Park in Greensboro, where his family would continue to visit him, remembering his life and honoring the man who had been taken from them too soon. As the months passed, Tyreek's family continued to wait for justice. The investigation into his death remained open, but the search for the suspect continued with few leads. The pain of not knowing who had taken Tyreek's life was felt deeply by his loved ones, who were left with only memories and unanswered questions. The tragic death of Tyreek Burton serves as a reminder of the fragile nature of life, the dangers of unchecked rage, and the importance of addressing violence before it escalates. It's crucial for communities to come together and find peaceful solutions to conflicts, especially in moments of anger or frustration. Road rage incidents, like the one that claimed Tyreek's life, can often be avoided through better communication, a focus on de-escalation, and an emphasis on empathy. Tyreek's death raises many questions. How could a minor road rage incident escalate into a fatal confrontation? Why does violence continue to plague communities, affecting the lives of innocent people? The tragedy serves as a painful reminder of the consequences of unchecked anger and gun violence. It also highlights the need for conflict resolution strategies and mental health support to address the underlying issues that can lead to such deadly outcomes. For those who find themselves in a similar situation, the importance of seeking help, engaging in conflict resolution, and de-escalating potentially dangerous situations cannot be overstated. Violence should never be the answer to a disagreement, no matter how intense the emotions may be. As Tyreek's family continues to search for justice, we all can take a moment to reflect on the impact of gun violence and its devastating consequences on families and communities. It's up to all of us to do what we can to prevent future tragedies and to support those who have been affected by such devastating acts. My condolences go out to Tyreek's family and friends. May you find peace and healing, and may you get justice. What do you think about it? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.